Margaret Joy Gelling, OBE, was an English toponymist, known for her extensive studies of English place names. She served as president of the English Place Names Society from 1986 to 1998, and vice president of the International Council of Onomastic Sciences from 1993 to 1999, as well as being a Fellow of St Hilda's College, Oxford, a member of both the Society of Antiquaries of London and the British Academy. Born in Manchester and raised in Kent, she studied at St Hilda's College, becoming involved in socialist activism. She proceeded to work for the English Place Names Society from 1946 to 1953, focusing her research on the place names of Oxfordshire and Berkshire, marrying archaeologist Peter Gelling of the University of Birmingham in 1952. She moved to Harborne while undertaking her PhD research into the place names of West Berkshire, lecturing on the subject across the Midlands. She published her research in a series of books, achieving prominence within academia for her 1978 work Signposts to the Past: The Geographical Roots of Britain's Place Names. In the coming decades she focused on researching the place names of Shropshire, resulting in a multi-volume publication, earning a number of awards and prominent appointments for her life's work. Gelling's work focused on establishing the Old English origins of English place names in the Midlands, and her approach sought to connect toponyms to geographical features in the landscape. Biography. Early life. Margaret Joy Gelling was born to a lower-middle-class family in Manchester on 29 November 1924, the daughter of an insurance salesman. As a child, her family moved to Sidcup in Kent, and she gained her secondary education from Chislehurst Grammar School. The first member of her family to attend university, she studied English language and literature at St Hilda's College, Oxford, where she was influenced by Dorothy Whitelock, who inspired her interest in place names. Graduating in 1945, she later related that the experience at Oxford had been a waste of time, believing English literature to be dreadfully boring. Politically a socialist, at Oxford she had joined the Communist Party of Great Britain, and enjoyed arguing politics with her right-wing family. Working for a year as a temporary civil servant in London, in 1946 she gained employment as a research assistant with the English Place Names Society, based in Cambridge. She continued to work here for 8 years, focusing her research on expanding and collating the place names of Oxfordshire and Berkshire, a project that had been started before her by Frank Mary Stenton and his wife Lady Doris Stenton. Her work in this field would see publication as the 2-volume The Place Names of Oxfordshire. She felt that her approach differed from Stenton's on political grounds. She believed most place names had been developed by ordinary working people, whereas she thought that he empathized with the ruling classes. Success. In 1952 she married the Manx archaeologist Peter Gelling, who soon obtained a teaching job at the University of Birmingham. For this reason, the couple moved to Harborne, where she remained for the rest of her life. There she would spend much time gardening, and although had no children of her own, raised her nephew, Adrian Midgley, from the age of 6. She would undertake research for a PhD from the University of London by correspondence, supervised by Albert Hugh Smith, devoted to the place names of West Berkshire. Her thesis was completed in 1957. Having left the Communist Party, she still considered herself very left-wing, campaigning on behalf of the local branch of the centre-left Labour Party. She accompanied her husband on his archaeological excavations to various sites both domestically and abroad. In the 1960s, she accompanied him to Alto Plano in Peru to study the development of potato cultivation, where she gained experience in cooking at at high altitude. In the early 1970s, she traveled with him to Cyprus, where she was sorting through finds in the castle at Kyrenia when the Turkish army invaded in July 1974. For a number of seasons she managed morale and catering at the excavation camp at DNS, Orkney, which her husband used as a training dig for his students. During the 1960s, she published a series of innovative books on English place names, also lecturing on the subject across the English Midlands under the aegis of the University of Birmingham's Department of Extramural Studies. She also lectured at Birmingham University on occasion, as well as running a summer school at Oxford. She went on to publish her 3 volumes of The Place Names of Berkshire, which she followed with Signposts to the Past, Place Names and the History of England, a book which put her in an elevated position among English toponymists, and which saw revised editions in 1987 and 1997. Peter Gelling died in 1983, while Margaret took on the presidency of the English Place Name Society from 1986 to 1998, and then the vice presidency of the International Council for Onomastic Sciences from 1993 to 1999. Becoming a Fellow of St Hilda's College in 1993, she was awarded an Order of the British Empire in 1995, and in 1998 she was elected a Fellow of the British Academy, a rare feat for an individual who had never held an academic position. She continued lecturing widely until developing the illness from which she died. Publications: Gelling, Margaret. Place Names of Oxfordshire, Part 1, 23, Cambridge English Place Name Society. Gelling, Margaret. Place Names of Oxfordshire, Part 2, 24, Cambridge English Place Name Society. Gelling, Margaret. English place names derived from the compound Wicham. Medieval Archaeology. The Society for Medieval Archaeology. She, 103. Gelling, Margaret. Place Names of Berkshire, Part 1, XLIX, Cambridge English Place Name Society. ISBN 0-90488960-2. Gelling, Margaret. Place Names of Berkshire, Part 2, LI, Cambridge English Place Name Society. ISBN 0-521-20034-2. Gelling, Margaret. Signposts to the Past, Place Names and the History of England. London, J.M. Dent Son. ISBN 0-46004265. Gelling, Margaret. The Early Charters of the Thames Valley. Leicester, Leicester University Press. ISBN 0-7185111328. Gelling, Margaret. Place Names in the Landscape. The Geographical Roots of Britain's Place Names. London, J.M. Dent Son. ISBN 0-46004380-3. Gelling, Margaret. Foxall, H. D.G. Place Names of Shropshire, Part 1, LXII. English Place Name Society. Gelling, Margaret. The West Midlands in the Early Middle Ages. Studies in the Early History of Britain. Leicester, Leicester University Press. ISBN 0-7185139559. Gelling, Margaret. Place Names of Shropshire, Part 2. The Hundreds of Ford and Condover, LXX. Nottingham, English Place Name Society. ISBN 0-90488943-2. Gelling, Margaret. Place Names of Shropshire, Part 3. The Place Names of Shropshire, Part 3, Telford New Town, the northern part of Munslow Hundred and the franchise of Wenlock. English Place Name Society. Gelling, Margaret. Colt Anne. The Landscape of Place Names. Sean Tyers. ISBN 1-90028926-1. Gelling, Margaret. Place Names of Shropshire. Part 4. Shrewsbury Town and Suburbs and the Liberties of Shrewsbury, Nottingham. English Place Name Society. ISBN 0-90488967-X. Gelling, Margaret. Place Names of Shropshire. Part 5. The Place Names of Shropshire. Part 4. The Hundreds of Pimhill and Bradford North, Nottingham. English Place Name Society. Nicolais and W. F. H. Gelling, Margaret. Richards, Melville. The Names of Towns and Cities in Britain. London. B. T. Batsford Limited.